Today's rant brought to you by New Works Plumbing of Sacramento. Locally owned for over 20 years, New Works has a fix for you. For your plumbing needs and repairs, just go to newworksplumbing.com. That's NEWWRXplumbing.com. Hey, join me later today, 5 o'clock Pacific. We get the week started on Listen App. Hey, if you're a fan of the Boston Celtics, guess what? You're racist as F. That's right. That's what Lebron James said over the weekend on his talk show, The Shop. He was asked the toughest place to play. He said Boston. And then he said, because the fans are racist as F. How does that make you feel if you're a fan of the Boston Celtics? I'm sure some fans are racist. It's a microcosm of society, sadly enough, but that happens to be the truth. And if you're a professional athlete, you're playing in Boston or anywhere else for that matter, and a fan happens to yell a racial slur at you, that fan needs to be apprehended, ejected, and never, ever be allowed back in any venue. Period. Can't be tolerated. Shouldn't be tolerated. But LeBron James just comes out and calls Boston fans racist as F. Seriously, if you're a fan of the Celtics, how does that make you feel? I got a question for LeBron James. Are you prejudiced against white people? I really mean that. Are you prejudiced against white people? When's the last time you ever came to the aid? When's the last time you ever defended a white person in need? You know, again, we go back to last month. The murder in the parking lot of the high school that you founded in Akron, Ohio. You came out with a sympathetic tweet for the victim's family. And then when the victim's family asked for help, when they said we need people to please come forward and help us, you were silent. Why? Why? You're Mr. Akron, you're Mr. Ohio, you're Mr. NBA, you're one of the most popular figures with a lot of power, over 50 million Twitter followers, and you remain silent? There are so many instances of you remaining silent, which is puzzling. You only seem to make noise when it is in the defense and the support of the black community. I get that. I understand that. I think that's great. But there are a lot of other people that you could help, and you remain silent. That's right, you remain silent. As MLK said, our lives begin to end the day we remain silent about things that matter. LeBron, your life has really ended a long time ago, because I don't recall the last time, I really mean this, that you did not remain silent about things that matter. You're selective with your noise. As Mitch Albom, the great writer from the Detroit Free Press, said 2 summers ago with the anti-Semitic comments of Deshaun Jackson. You were silent on that too, by the way. You were silent when a player in the NBA, Myers Leonard, made a racial slur towards the Jewish community. Myers Leonard no longer playing in the NBA. He was traded less than a week later. Oklahoma City subsequently released him, and as of today, he is unemployed. Again, didn't see any support coming to his defense. There are many, many other examples. The question that some have asked, such as Dan Dockich of Outkick and Clay Travis of Outkick and Jason Whitlock of Fearless on his podcast, why did you remain silent last month when the victim, who happened to be white, and 3 African Americans arrested for a crime that, by the way, is in the judicial system, innocent until proven guilty? Where were you? Why remain silent? LeBron, why are you silent? Why do you pick and choose so much? But you want to come out and call the Boston fans racist as F? Really? Is that really how you feel? You feel when you go into the Boston Garden that all the fans are racist? What a sad commentary that is if you really feel that way. It's an attack that, to me, is unwarranted. It's not justified. Yeah, there have been examples of fans in Boston being racist. I mean, Bill Russell, if you talk to him, which I have, when he was coaching the Kings, and some of the stories that happened to him in his playing days when he was a member of the Boston Celtics. I don't mean to paint a rosy picture in Boston that everything is just perfect. There is some issues with racism, not only in Boston, but in many other communities and many other cities in America. But you just come out and say that they're racist as F? That is such a sad statement. Sad statement. And again, LeBron James, I ask you a really fair and legitimate question. Are you prejudiced against white people? If not, you know what I'd like to see? I'd like you to come to the defense of a white person just once, maybe twice. Maybe it's happened in the past. Can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm sure there probably is an example or two, but again, nothing comes to my mind right now. That would be great to see a gentleman in your capacity. I call him a gentleman because I believe LeBron is just that. I believe LeBron James has a lot of positives. First of all, he's one of the great basketball players to ever walk the planet. I was blessed to announce his first ever game. I was blessed to be the announcer in his first ever Nike commercial as an NBA player. Again, I have a lot of respect for LeBron James, the player. But boy, I'll tell you, my respect for LeBron James, the person, has gone down a lot. And this weekend did not help by saying Boston fans are racist as F. That is sad with a capital S. That's my rant for today. Give me a thumbs up if you like what I had to say. Leave me a comment. All right? I would love to know what you think about what I had to say about LeBron James. I will do my best to get back to you. Make it a great day. And again, thank you so much for watching Grant's Rant.